A new report on commercial real estate in Benton and Washington County shows strong demand for office space after the pandemic and a growing need for warehouse space amid a rise in e-commerce. We're joined today by Lance Turner, an editor with Arkansas Business. Lance, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So my first question is, the report shows total commercial vacancy in the first half of 2022 at just 5.8%. That's actually down from 8.9% in the same period last year. What's driving that change?
Well, the report talks about two factors. One is just the sheer growth that's happening in Northwest Arkansas, and I think anyone up there can see that every day. And also, I think there's been this open question about whether employees would really return in great numbers to the office after the pandemic. And I think the data suggests, in this report at least, that that's happening. And so companies that are experiencing growth already are still having to find space for employees and their operations. And so they're looking to commercial space. And even though the area added 500,000 square feet of space during this period, it still is almost all, it's the demand there, the vacancy rate still fell. And so all the space is getting used because of growth and people returning to the office.
The report also shows warehouse space now at a premium in the region, less than 1% vacant. What's behind that change?
That is really crazy, and that's a trend that we're seeing across the country and across the state as well. E-commerce growth is the big piece of it, spurred by the pandemic. It's made more important it's more important now for companies to be able to maintain warehouse space for the goods that they need to ship directly to their customers. And so Central Arkansas has seen a growth in e-commerce space. It's happening in Northeast Arkansas and of course happening in Northwest Arkansas as well. And then just general warehouse needs by all companies amid supply chain backups that we've seen. Companies have realized that it's more important to maintain warehouse space to keep all these goods on site and on premises so they don't get hung up with supply chain delays. And so this idea of just-in-time delivery, I think, is being questioned, and people would rather have goods in a warehouse than waiting on them to come through some long supply chain.
Right. So talk about what challenges this presents going forward.
Well, I think it's similar to some of the challenges that we're seeing in residential development in the region, just trying to keep up with it all. And so that's a challenge for developers. It's a challenge for local governments and city leaders to make sure zoning is right and that they're working with developers properly to meet the demand for all this space. We're going to need more space, and particularly, again, with warehouse space, with e-commerce, we are barely keeping up. The warehouse space is virtually all taken up in Northwest Arkansas right now. And so developers and cities are going to have to find ways to make it easier to provide more capacity.
Well, Lance, we appreciate your expertise today, and thanks for joining us. Remember, for more business news from our content partners, you can go to arkansasbusiness.com. And for more local news where you live, download the free 5 News app or go to 5newsonline.com.